guys, I'm here. I survived a cyclone of sorts, sort of, maybe. Right, let's jump into the news. Hello, ferrets, how are you? Ferrets, have you muted yourself again?
Sandwich.
Sandwich, gotcha. How are you, ferrets?
Sandwich.
You're a sandwich.
I'm eating a sandwich.
Alright. Ferrets is eating a sandwich because it takes him 4 hours to eat. Let's jump into it because The Last of Us Part 3 might not happen, according to Neil Druckmann. I'm surprised because the last part 2 was such a smashing success. You got to play as Abby, a transgender who decided to beat your main character from the first one with a golf club. I'm not surprised.
That's a lovely sight.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, I'm not surprised that the third one has not possibly been made. Because at the end of the day, no one was happy about that. Like, you've literally built this guy up as a hero. And then the second one, he's going to come along and he's going to get his tee taken off by a transgender with a golf club. So,
okay then.
Yeah. Mighty Dog seemingly shift focus to intergalactic. So for years, speculation has swirled around whether The Last of Us Part 3 would ever become a reality. Fans hoping for an official confirmation have been met with silence from Naughty Dog until now. In recent interviews, the Variety, Neil Druckmann, the creative director behind the franchise, made a statement that all but confirms there are no current plans for the third installment. While this doesn't necessarily mean The Last of Us is gone for good, it raises serious questions about the series' long-term viability. Druckmann's words were simple but telling. Don't bet on there being more of The Last of Us. This vague yet firm response suggests that not only is Part 3 not in development, but it may not happen at all. And an odd reality for the franchise that Sony and Naughty Dog have long positioned as a flagship property. If The Last of Us, the industry juggernaut it's claimed to be, there would not be hesitation about continuing the series. Instead, we have ambiguity since silence, and now it seems like an outright dismissal of the idea. So it's a franchise mirrored in controversy. The Last of Us Part 2. So while The Last of Us was widely celebrated, its legacy has grown more divisive in recent years. The Last of Us Part 2 alienated a significant portion of its audience due to creative decisions that left many feeling betrayed. The removal of the beloved character early in the game sparked outrage, while the forced shift in perspective to the new hater protagonists was seen as an attempt to strong-arm players into sympathising with an unlikable character. By the way, like I said, she kills him with a frigging golf club, by the way, people. The game also received criticism for politicising thematic messaging over organic storytelling, leading to accusations that the narrative was more concerned with making a statement rather than crafting a compelling experience. The HBO adaptation, despite its strong performances, has not been free of criticisms either. While some praised its fidelity to the original game, others took issue with the changes made to certain storyline elements. With the second season of the show set to premiere soon, the anticipation is high, but as also is skepticism. If the upcoming season follows the controversial plot of Part 2, and the Druckmann has said that it is, it could further cement the series as a divisive property rather than a universal celebrated one. So Druckmann's dismissal of The Last of Us Part 3 coincided with Naughty Dog's focus on its new project, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Announced in the 2024 Games Award, this title has reportedly been in development since 2020, and it seems to be taking center stage at the studio, potentially explaining why The Last of Us has been left behind. However, there's already skepticism surrounding Intergalactic. Given Druckmann's creative decisions in recent years, many suspect that it followed the same narrative approach that made The Last of Us Part 2 so divisive. If Intergalactic doubles down on the same storytelling alienated fans, it struggles to find an audience. Additionally, Naughty Dog has traditionally been known for its mastery of gameplay, yet its recent output has placed increasing emphasis on cinematic storytelling at the expense of player agency. If Intergalactic continues down this path, it may make another step away from what Naughty Dog made Naughty Dog a beloved developer. So, what are your thoughts on The Last of Us Part 3 first, before we get into the Part 2 discussion? Well, actually, the Part 2 is kind of leaked. Let's do that first. What are your thoughts on the Part 2 for Last of Us?
Well, it's what the name says. It definitely is The Last of Us.
Did you see the scene with Abby and Joel?
The TV series or the game?
Well, the TV series hasn't actually gone through, and actually gone through yet. It's coming up soon. But oh no, hang on. Is it? Yeah, here it is.
That's got to be a long
So let's just skip to the part that we all.
Puta madre.
Joel Miller. There it is.
So this part.
Nice.
So
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, completely graphic, completely. I don't say unnecessary because you can always get the argument of it's for the story, but like I said, they built this guy up to be a hero, and then in part 2, he literally basically gets taken out with the golf club. And you actually see it. You see like her doing the swing and everything like that. It wasn't like like they did it like respectfully. They showed you her about to hit it. And then I believe even after that.
Fuck.
Yeah. So you see him, her, whatever, hitting him, repeatedly beating him and bludgeoning him with the golf club. I can't wait for season 2 to go on air. I am going to get my popcorn ready because I can imagine how much the fans are going to hate this. So, yeah, like I said, and she actually does kill him, I believe.
I mean, after a beating like that, I don't think anyone is going to actually survive without proper medical treatment.
Joel, please get up.
There you go.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. So this is how Naughty Dog treated their protagonists for the first one. You know. That's how they treated him in the second. So, like I say, when it's divisive, you know, at the end of the day, there's a reason for it. Yeah. But, yeah, I can't wait for it to hit this show, for it to go through and to hit the TV. Because, like, holy shit, people are going to be in an uproar. But, you know, regardless. So apart from that, do you think there'll be a part 3, or do you think they've basically gone through and wiped off most of their fan base? What are your thoughts?
I have a funny feeling that they're going to push for a third one.
I don't know if they will. I think they sort of saw the writing on the wall for this after the sales for the second one. Let's see. How did The Last of Us Part 2 sell? So it was released on the 19th of November, June 19th, 2020, and became the fastest selling play for PlayStation 4. Sold 4 million copies in its first 3 days. It sold over 10 million copies worldwide. There were 44 fewer copies than its predecessor, The Last of Us. So sales almost halved. So, you know, to say that this scene, I imagine, played a large portion of people not wanting to play it. Now, like I said, you know, see what happens when it goes to TV, because I suspect there's going to be a bit of an uproar. But, you know, like I say, yeah, I would say that at the end of the day that this is probably the reason why they're not making it is they're looking at it, they're saying, well, look, yeah, okay, yeah, it sold 10 million copies, right, fine, but how long was it in development for?
I have no idea.
Not how you spell it, but you get the idea. Over 5 years. So they're saying core development began in 2014 and came out in 2020. So 6 years. Almost. So, you know, like, yeah, it was profitable, it made money, but like, you know, like, but that was before this sort of, this whole anti-woke, for lack of a better word, anti-woke movement started. People by this stage hadn't really sort of caught on to what the gaming industry was doing, pushing all this sort of woke agenda. It's not like it is now. So if you came out with the Last of Us Part 3 now, that tried to pull that stunt, I imagine those 10 million numbers would be a lot less too. But I don't think they're going to make it, dude. I think they sort of saw the writing on the wall with the last one, the backlash they got over the part 2. They thought, look, we'll just go with the story there. We'll focus on this new IP that we've got, which is this Intergalactic. And the best thing is that with Intergalactic is they can start from scratch. They don't have to worry about retconning or changing history, because it's literally them starting it from the start. This is where a lot of these TV shows and movies and stuff get themselves into trouble, is because, like Doctor Who, for example, right, had to go through and retcon its whole history. Why? Well, because it came out 40, 50 years ago originally. No such thing as woke. Well, now they're trying to push this woke agenda. So now, well, we have to go through and we have to make it so that there's a female Time Lord. So we have to retcon history for that. You know, where if they start the story from now, or they start developing the story from now, they don't have to worry about, you know, what they might screw up in the past because they're pushing politics. But, I don't know. You reckon they're going to do it? Do you reckon? Or you reckon they're going to do just leave it at part 2? You reckon they're going to do a part 3?
They might do a part 3.
We'll have to see. Guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Me personally, I'm saying no to part 3. But we'll see what happens. Apart from that, guys, if the video has been helpful, please smack that like button if you're new. Channel welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube.